Alright YouTube, so it's been a little bit since I've made a video, but we are back with some Fallout 76 information. This one is kind of a negative video again. It's not as bad as some of the stuff we've talked about previously, but it turns out with the December 4th update for Fallout 76, there was actually some balances and tweaks and changes to the game that Bethesda did not tell anybody about. And the players themselves have come across this, and Bethesda has since put out like sort of an apology and says they'll be transparent in the future. Fallout 76's most recent update upgraded the stash limit for all players and brought about several other changes and fixes. Shortly after the patch's release, players began to come across several changes the patch notes did not mention. These run the gamut from new drop rates and limits to fixes for certain exploits players have been making use of since launch. Before we even get into it, I don't really see a problem with Bethesda fixing exploits in Fallout 76. They're not inherently bad because you're just making use of something already in game. It's not a bug or a glitch. It's just like this certain creature drops a really good item pretty regularly or all the time, so I'm going to farm that creature so I get a bunch of this stuff. That's kind of what exploits are, but I don't mind them balancing that a little bit. If they do too much where the creature doesn't drop it enough anymore or at all, then that is a bit of an issue, but fixing exploits in a game is pretty regular. There are several Reddit threads full of players reporting changes they had spotted. Some of the changes are understandable and many are typical resource and economy tweaks not uncommon for live service games. The problem, of course, is that Bethesda failed to communicate them ahead of time, which inevitably meant players are more likely to receive the changes negatively. That's kind of the issue here and with a lot of things surrounding Fallout 76 is the lack of transparency. Like, if you're going to change things in the game, tweak things, drop rates for items and loot and things like that, you definitely got to tell the players about that stuff. To not do it seems kind of odd. Like, why would you leave that out of the patch notes? The point of an update to a game is to change, balance, all that type of stuff, and why would you not tell that to your audience? It just seems kind of crazy. So right here we have one of the Reddit threads that talks about some of the changes to the game. About half of them are confirmed. The lower half, it seems to not be 100%. Some players said that it is happening for them. Some players are saying it isn't. I'm not going to read it all because it would take forever, but you can pause and read if you want to, and it of course will be linked in the description. This one, however, is shorter, so we will actually read over this. It does say, in addition to the nerf showcase in this post, which is the one I just showed you guys, several others I've personally found in-game that are not even close to acceptable. First up, bears no longer drop springs, killed 12 Yaogwai, no springs. Guess they don't like people farming them. Certain popular farmable Deathclaws no longer drop junk, such as the ones on Deathclaw Island. Others still do. This shows that Bethesda is selectively hindering specific things in-game to make the game longer. Robo-Brains no longer drop fusion cores on a 1-to-1 basis, and it seems to only be like a 1-to-10 ratio now. Legendary enemies no longer guarantee a legendary item drop. I killed 5 and only 3 gave me an item. So this one I felt like had some important things to discuss. This is something you do have to convey to your audience and your fans that are playing the game. Like, for bears, or Yaogwais, I don't know why I call them bears, it got me calling them bears now. Yaogwais no longer dropping springs at all, that's something people need to know. Certain Deathclaw no longer dropping junk at all, something people need to know. The ratio for Robo-Brains dropping fusion cores, you gotta tell people that. And then for legendary enemies to no longer 100% guarantee a legendary item, that's a big change to the game, because obviously you want to have all legendary gear if you can, right? Like, that's who you want additional effects on your weapons and armors. And for them to drop the ratio for that, that's a big change to the game, because we're coming off the heels of Fallout 4, where every single legendary enemy drops a legendary item. That's what we're used to, and that's how it was in Fallout 76, but now it seems like they've changed it to where not every single legendary enemy is going to give you a legendary item. That's important to tell people. Bethesda has since updated the December 4th patch notes with this statement that says, December 6, 2018, in an effort to be more transparent with our patch notes, below is a full list of changes included in Tuesday's patch. For the upcoming patch and all future patches, our goal is to deliver accurate, comprehensive notes. If we miss something, we'll work to get it right and deliver the information to you as quickly as we can. We're also looking to share a list of known issues to give you a better sense of what we're working on. So clearly Bethesda is aware that people have come across these changes into the game, and they say they will be more transparent in the future. That, of course, remains to be seen. They can say it, they actually have to execute it. We'll have to see if they do that. Who knows? But yeah, this is sort of a negative topic, man, but that's on them for not being transparent with their updates. You gotta tell people what you're going to change. Even if it's subtle things that aren't really that big of a deal, for people to come across them and Bethesda not ever tell anybody about it, like the article said that we read, it's going to be perceived as negative. And it is. For, again, like big changes like legendary enemies not guaranteeing you a legendary item, that is a very big change to the mechanics of the game. You gotta tell people that stuff. And for certain enemies, like the Yaogwai, to stop dropping certain items, like springs, 100%, no longer drop those items, you gotta tell people that stuff, man. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. 2019 is going to be a very interesting year for Fallout 76 because it's been a rocky start in 2018. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Turn on notifications. Follow me on Twitter at TheDashingDavid. At my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while. Quit acting like a baby, or at least less like a child. Give me serenity, or at least just peace of mind. Give me clarity.